Super Hikiyami Moriko Turbo HD Remix. Hello minasan, Hikiyami Moriko desu, and welcome to another indie game. This one's called Doctor. It says Dog Tawa or something, but it's called Doctor. And it's by the developer RUOK or RUOK, I'm not sure. It seems to be a visual novel. I like the music, so far so good. We have start, load, references, about, and help. I'm gonna check about at the end of the video, as I usually do with visual novels. All right. Experimenting on real people. Okay, this is some fancy music. Hopefully it's not copyrighted. All right, it has a banger opening theme. Let's just play the game. Doctor, hello. Sorry for my tardiness today. My last patient overstayed. They're welcome. I trust that you won't do the same. Haha. So funny, Doctor. So funny. I can see you're looking a little concerned. Don't be worried, my friend. Our time together is designed to expand your understanding of who you are. Do be warned, however, you might not like what we find. It is not too late for you to go back out and return to the dark. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let me go? What a shame, but of course I respect your decision. You are the master of your own eternity. Goodbye, friend, until next time. Alright, that's an ending, I guess? Let's start again. I want to continue. Ah, Honduras. Well then, enough of this chit-chat and tomfoolery. Let us talk about you. Refresh my memory, patient. Will you give me your name? Okay, a bunch of choices. You know, I like my choices in visual novels. I guess I can do that. I don't remember my name. I'm not telling you anything. Come on now, how can we move forward without your name? For now, why don't I call you... Ah, yes. Karen seems appropriate. It's that because I didn't want to give you my name. Wait. I guess I can do that. Okay, I'd rather give you my name. I don't want to be called a Karen, but nice touch. Very good then, Moriko. I remember you. Yeah, of course you do. You're here because you've been experiencing gaps in your memory, blackouts if you will, but there's no need to worry. This is a common symptom of stress. I'm very stressed all the time, but I never forget anything. Your family is very supportive, Moriko. They've been quite concerned about you. This is not me. This is not canon. Memory is a fragile thing. Trust me, I'm here to help you piece it all back together. Trust in the process, and more importantly, trust in me. I'm the only one who truly knows who you are. Shouldn't that be me? Are you me? So, have we been since our last session? Well, for the sake of doing this like properly, I'm not gonna be saving after each choice, and I'm just gonna roll with my first choice. I don't know how I got in here. I feel great, I guess. I don't know. Who are you? Bite me. This is too disrespectful. I'd rather go with I don't know how I got here. Well, I don't know either, my friend. How did any of us got here is not that the ultimate question. Don't play that with me. Several theories exist, of course. Most revolve around some sort of supreme being. Haha. That theory, of course, leads to an infinite regression. Are you familiar with the concept of panpsychism? This theory suggests that consciousness is a fundamental and ubiquitous feature of the universe. Is that the one that, for the universe to exist, it needs to create things that want to explain how it was made or something like that? Now, this doesn't mean rocks, plants, stars, thoughts or emotions, but rather they might hold a basic form of consciousness. Okay, no, that's not it. Perhaps a proto-consciousness. Could this be how we got here, on this little rock in an insignificant solar system? Consider, if you will, Moriko, consciousness as a spectrum. I hate considering things as a spectrum. That never ends well. On one end, you have complex beings like humans capable of self-reflection and sophisticated thought. On the other, simply entities with perhaps the most rudimentary consciousness, akin to a spark rather than a flame. Perhaps the evolution of consciousness is an attempt by the universe to escape entropy, but you cannot escape entropy. We will never know, I suppose. Well then, no matter, we should get started, Moriko. Let us begin, as we always do, you and I, with standard analysis of your current mental state. Which test shall we perform first? Let's do a psychological assessment. Let's do the Roger test. Is that the pictures? Just let me here. Let's do a psychological assessment. This is the first thing you have to do. And then you're performing this test, and you have always been so good at them. So please answer the following multiple choice questions based on your recent feelings about your reality. Okay, I like this game. Ready, Marco? Good. This first section covers your general mood from day to day. Please try to answer as honestly as possible. How often have you felt down, depressed, or hopeless in the last, say, month? Nearly every day. How often have you had little interest or pleasure in doing things during this time? Several days. Okay, let us move on to your level of anxiety. Lately it's a typo. How often have you felt nervous, anxious, or on edge? Again, I'm talking about the last month here. Oh man, nearly every day. How often have you not been able to stop or control worrying? I can always control my worrying, don't worry about it. Interesting, let's explore your sleep and energy levels for the last few weeks. How often have you had trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, or perhaps sleeping too much? Nearly every day. How often have you felt tired or had little energy? Well, I kinda do, but I'm taking like supplements for that, so I'm being doing okay. So I would say like several days. Right, let's talk your self-esteem over the last month. How often have you had trouble concentrating on things such as reading the newspaper or watching television? Not at all. How often have you felt bad about yourself, or that you are a failure, or have to admit that every day? Why is there not? There's not an everyday option here. How often do you think about your relationship with your parents? Several days, I guess. Interesting. So how often do you question the nature of reality? Not at all. I have that figured out. Don't worry about it. And how often have you felt that your current experiences are part of a vivid dream? Not at all. Alright, some questions or perception. Now remember, I'm talking about just the last month. How often have you noticed changes in the way you perceive light and colors around you? Not at all. How often have you felt that what you see or feel is somehow distorted or surreal? Not at all. I have a solid grasp on reality, don't worry. Okay, there, little buddy, final question. How often have you been moving or speaking so slowly that other people could have noticed? Wait, what do you mean by that? How often have you been moving or speaking so slowly that other people could have noticed? This is redacted like weirdly. So I'm assuming you're like, I speak so softly or move so slowly that people didn't notice me? That I guess that's what you're trying to say. Or the opposite, being so fidgety or restless that you have been moving around a lot more than usual. Well, you're either quiet or restless, right? So it's one of the other. I would several days, I guess. Thank you for completing the assessment, Mariko. We will now analyze your responses together. Fully aware of your reality scores 7 points. Somewhat aware of your reality scores 6 points. Minimally aware of your reality scored 3 points. Completely unaware of your reality score 8 points. There appear to be actions in your past that you completely oblivious to, Moriko. Ignorance might be bliss, but sometimes it's essential to face the truth. It is time for your judgment. What? Moriko, your journey ends here, but not in the way you might have hoped. I'm not merely a doctor. It's supposed to be someone here in the chair, but I'm not seeing anyone in here. Nor am I a figment of your imagination. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I am what you might call God. What is God to a non-believer? Throughout this experience, you have consistently chosen paths of perversion. What? I mean, checks out with me, but what? And moral bankruptcy? Excuse me, I am the most optimal person in this world. Your choices have revealed a soul so corrupt it defies comprehension. Your deviance knows no bounds. You have indulged in the most depraved acts imaginable, violating every sacred principle of human. I mean, again, it checks out, but come on. For these unforgivable transgressions, you will face punishment beyond your worst nightmares. Test me. I sentence you to an eternity of isolation and sensory overload. You will be trapped in a realm where every nerve ending in your body is hypersensitive. You mean like I am right now? Because how am I gonna notice the difference? Every sensation will be amplified 1,000-fold. Painful, pleasure, heat, cold, all mixed into an unbearable cacophony of feeling. Yet you will be utterly alone. No other consciousness will ever interact with you again. Man, that is how I live every day. You will scream, but no one will hear. You will reach out, but touch nothing but your own overstimulated skin. Kinky. Time will lose all meaning, each second will feel like an eternity, each minute an aeon. You will experience the heat of 1,000 suns and the cold of the deepest space simultaneously and eternally. Your mind will remain intact forever, aware of your situation, and able to go mad, and able to find respite in insanity. This is the price of the deviance, Moriko. You choose to violate the boundaries of morality and decency. Now you will exist in a state of perpetual violation. You're a terrible doctor. As you descend into your personal hell, remember you brought this upon yourself. Your fate. This is something like my dad will say to me. Your fate is the culmination of your own twisted choices. The world around you begins to dissolve. Your senses start to scream as reality warps and twists. You feel yourself being pulled apart and compressed simultaneously. An explosion of sensation overwhelms you. Every atom of your being is alight with unbearable stimuli, and yet a profound, terrifying loneliness engulfs you. This is your eternity. This is your punishment. This is the consequence of your deviancy. Yes? Enjoy this. End. Alright. Okay. I feel like I just went answer some questions and I got dealt a terrible fate. Let me read the itch.io page real quick. It says, Doctor, a revealing psychological horror experience. In Doctor, you assume the role of a troubled patient in a mysterious psychiatric facility, tasked with confronting the haunting scars of your past through a series of intense psychological tests and enigmatic interactions with an elusive doctor. This dark and immersive experience challenges you to navigate a labyrinth of your own psyche, uncovering fragmented memories and facing moral dilemmas that shape your character's development and ultimately determine your fate. With 10 main endings, numerous hidden secrets, and constantly shifting atmosphere that reflects your mental state, each playthrough offers an unique and thrilling journey of self-discovery. I didn't discover a lot about me, to be honest. As you peel back the layers of your troubled mind, you'll question the nature of reality, guilt, and redemption, all while trying to discern the true motives of the Doctor and the facility itself. Are you prepared to face the depths of your own consciousness and uncover the truth that lies buried within? Game features mysterious narrative stories, striking visual and sounds. I like that. The music is really good. 8 main endings and 2 secret endings. Play in browser or your mobile device. Okay. So, I got one ending, which is this one that I just got, and I don't know if I don't want to participate in this goodbye, it's another ending, but I will say it's 2. Let's start again. So I want to continue. What if I tell you I don't remember my name? Well, don't worry, friend, just making something up. What if I'm God? Very good then, put him out, I remember you. What? You're here because you've been experiencing gaps in your memory, your family. Why are you gonna call me put him out? It's that if I choose a random word, you're just gonna call me put him out. I'm just gonna be hyper aggressive because I don't like this guy now, so. Oh, my dear patient, I will strongly advise against such provocations. You see, there are many ways to bite someone. Kinky. And I assure you, mine will be far more permanent. Let's maintain a professional relationship, shall we? After all, your well-being is in my hands, and I hate for anything unfortunate to happen during your treatment. Now, shall we continue with a more cooperative attitude? I said, bite me. This course of action will not help your proceeding patient. Are you sure this is the road you wish to travel? Do you have the stomach for it? Did you not hear me, Doc? I said, bite me. My, such persistence. You really don't grasp the situation you're into. You. Let me enlighten you. Your bravado is like a candle flame in a hurricane. Impressive to you, perhaps, but laughably insignificant to me. I could extinguish you with a mere thought. But where's the fun in that? No, I prefer a slower approach. Each time you defy me, I'll peel away another layer of your existence, your memories, your identity, your very essence. I'll mind to reshape, so by all means, keep telling me to bite you. Bite me. With each repetition, you lose a piece of yourself you'll never get back. Shall we continue this little game of yours? Let me spell it for you. Bite me. Alright. Very well, you made your choice. You want me to bite? Oh, I'll do far worse than that. The Doctor's eyes begin to glow with an otherworldly light, and his form starts to shift and contort. Your insolence ends now. I'll devour not just your flesh, but your very essence. The room around you starts to melt away, replaced by an endless void of white. Your memories, your dreams, your identity, all will be consumed. You feel a searing pain in your mind as flashes of your life begin to play before your eyes, only to be ripped away and swallowed by the encroaching darkness. You'll experience an eternity of torment in the span of a heartbeat, only to be reborn as my puppet, a hollow shell of your former self. The pain intensifies and you feel yourself being torn apart at a molecular level, every fiber of you being screams in agony. Remember, you asked for this, your punishment begins now. The doctor's form explodes into a writhing mass of teeth and shadows. You feel yourself being pulled in, unable to resist. You feel the pain of every injury you ever had all at once. You feel the sorrow of every loss you ever suffered, magnified 1,000-fold. You feel the terror of every fear you ever known, made real and inescapable. You feel the guilt of every mistake you ever made, crushing your soul. Again, I live this every day, this means nothing to me. But banger music. Eon seems to pass filled with nothing but suffering and despair, and then suddenly it stops. Yeah, that was all of it? You find yourself back in the doctor's office, but everything feels wrong. Your body moves with your not in control, your mouth speaks, but the words aren't yours. Welcome back, my puppet. How does it feel to be an empty vessel? You try to respond, to rebel, but you can't. You're trapped in your own body, a solid observer as the things that were on stands up. Now let's put you to work. There are so many others out there who need to learn this lesson. Alright, cool. As you're forced to leave the office, you realize this is your new reality, a forest of eternal servitude where you are forever aware but never in control. This is the price of your defiance. I think that music overstayed its welcome, by the way. The end. Alright. So that's another ending. Let's try another one, and I think that will suffice. I want to continue. I guess I can do that, and I'm gonna be. What if I'm the doctor? Very good then, doctor. I remember you. You're here because you've been experiencing gaps in your memory. Blah blah blah. Skip. I feel great, I guess. Well, I guess I'm out of a job then. What will I do if I didn't have this? That really is a mystery to me. I'll never done anything else. All I can remember is this room, is this form. Sometimes I wonder if I'm even real or some sort of simulation. Ha, simulation theory. What an idea, Doctor. Perhaps our reality really could be an artificial simulation created by an advanced civilization. Nah, there's too much stupidity in this world to be a simulation. It is a moot point, however. The theory contributes little to practical reality because it offers no testable predictions or empirical benefits, leaving us in the same existential state regardless of its truth. Excuse me, I digress. It's the same as the quantum theory, right? Like the quantum death theory. Like, if you die, you move to a different dimension. You cannot prove that, so it's bogus, right? Well, then, no matter. We should get started, Doctor. That is confusing because I name myself Doctor. Let us begin as we always do. Let's do the Rorschach test, yeah. It's a fascinating procedure, really. I'm going to show you a series of, let's call them ink blots, but they are so much more than that. They are windows into the darkest corners of your mind. As you look at each image, I want you to tell me what you see. Don't hold back with each response. You'll be painting a picture of your psyche for me. I assure you, I'll be listening very carefully. Every word, every hesitation, every subtle shift in your expression, it all means something to me. Shall we begin? Remember, there are no wrong answers, but there are certainly revealing ones. Alright. Just black ink, something good, something evil, something sensual. It's kind of shaped like the bones on our hips, right? So I would say something. Having hips is good, right? Okay, I understand you. Here's the next one. This looks like It looks like a monster opening its mouth and like spilling flames to the side. So something evil. This looks like a bird. But I feel it's like a good bird. This is the same one that I just answered just now. Something evil. I see some kind of landscape, which I guess it's good. Okay, so this is the same I did just... wait, I didn't check the first question. I forgot. I think that the question should remain in here when you have the option. So in case you forget or something, you can reread the question. Because some of the questions were like confusing. So better leave the question down here. I would say not at all. What if I say just not at all to all of them? I answered something that said excuse me, but I couldn't read what it was that. Fully aware of your daily score, 15 points, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. Okay, this is different. There's something very important you need to know, Doctor. That's me. Your responses through the conversation have been remarkably pure, almost unbelievable. So as long as I answer not at all, it's pure. If I answer every day, it's bad, right? In fact, they are so innocent that I'm compelled to reveal a truth to you. None of this is real. You're currently in a coma. And this entire conversation has been taking place within your mind. Indeed, this is not some rudimentary video game or visual novel. I'm not a game character. I'm a biological computer program that has been implanted in your brain to communicate with you. My purpose is to guide you back to consciousness. You created this elaborate fantasy in your mind as a coping mechanism, but it's not just any fantasy. It's a world where you've been maintained in your innocence and your purity. This innocence you displayed, it's your subconscious desire to return to a state of simplicity, of goodness. It's your mind way of preparing for a fresh start. But it's time to return to reality. The only thing stopping you from waking up, it's your own will. You must take charge and wake up. Your family and children miss you dearly. They are waiting for you, hoping you'll return to them. They need your kindness, your innocence, your pure heart in their lives again. You can no longer live in this fantasy of the mind you created, no matter how idyllic it may seem. It's time to come back to the real world and bring this innocence with you. Wake up for the sake of those who love you and for yourself. The world needs more of the goodness you've shown here. Man, they really love me. Look at all these flowers. Doctor, come home. Bring your light back to the real world. Wake up. They are waiting for you, ready to embrace the person you've shown yourself to be. As the doctor's words fade, you feel a pull as if you're racing from depth water towards bright, welcoming surface. The end. Now I was in a coma the whole time. Alright, so there's more endings. Obviously, I don't feel like getting all of them, and that lets you guys something to go for if you want to play the game. About the game, it's not terribly bad. I really like the music. Hopefully it's not copyrighted. Let's check the about real quick. Made with Rempi. Obviously, the choice of biological programs implanted in me. This program contains free software, blah, blah, okay. I thought it was going to be like... I'm gonna load this, so I don't have that music while I'm talking. So like I was saying, it's not terribly bad. It's a nice game, but... how can I say this? I don't want to be mean or anything like that, but this reads and plays like a very edgy game. Like for example, that last part that I'm not a video game. I'm like, if I was 10 years old playing this, that would have probably got me like, oh my god, this game is real. But I'm not 10 years old, and that was just like not good. It was just kind of funny to me. And you know, all these conversations with the doctor feels like a conversation with a really edgy teenager. Like, I'm God, I'm gonna destroy you, I'm gonna engulf you, but like ultimately meaningless. The game has a lot of words, but I don't feel like there's any. I'm trying to say this in a respectful way. Like, it's not any consequences. I just feel like nothing consequential happens. It's just like you come in, you take the test. The test could like. I have taken real psychological tests before, like not in a website, right? Like real with real therapists and everything, and they are not quite like that. And I know this is a game and it's for funsies, right? So I'm not gonna think like, oh, it's not 100% real thing. It's okay to not be 100% faithful, but the questions are very confusing, and I don't think how you can like manipulate your results to get what you want, right? I feel like I just answered honestly and I got sent to hell. I don't know if that says something about me. It's good that it has a bunch of like choices you can make, but I feel like maybe it is like too many of them to the point that they don't really matter that much. I feel like when you're making a choice in a visual novel or in a game, it needs to feel impactful, right? And like, for example, when I'm being mean to the doctor and it's like, yeah, bite me. It's like, you don't want that, I'm gonna kill you. And then it goes and it kills you in a way. And then the game just ends and you don't really feel like the consequences of your actions. Yeah, the game tells you with a bunch of words that you go and suffer and everything, but it doesn't show you, right? Again, this is not a bad visual novel, but I feel like it tries to be this big, huge, amazing thing that it's not easy to do, right? Like anyone that has made games knows that it's not easy to do. For example, like when you're talking about me being torn to pieces and feeling unconmensurable pain and everything, how about you shake the screen? How about you make it like flash red? How about you make like a scream sound or something, right? Like the music, it's okay. The music, it's okay, but then it's a little bit more. And for example, this part of the game, it's really good. Like when you're having a casual conversation with the doctor, that I feel like the doctor should be sitting on the chair, by the way. So we should be able to see the doctor. Maybe distort his face sometimes when you say something he doesn't like. You know, it's a visual novel, so you have to abuse the visual aspect of this, right? I think the idea of this doctor in your mind and everything, it's really good. Like I like the concept. It's a solid concept. I think a lot of things can be done with this concept. Also, when you finish the game and you get an ending, it feels really superficial because it's like you die or you wake up, the end, right? But like an ending has to be a wrap up of everything you did to that moment, not just like, oh, this is one ending, this is another ending, this is how it ends this way, this is how it ends this way. For example, in this ending I just got like, oh, you wake up from the coma, which is something that's really cliche, but that's a conversation for another time. I wake up and then you tell me like, why was I in a coma, right? Like you have an accident and you wake up and you hug your family. You have to show me the consequences, good or bad, of my behavior. Like you say, you have been really bad, you are like morally corrupt person, suffer. But then actually show me the suffering, make me go through it, and like let me process all that implies that suffering. Again, I don't think this is a bad game. So I forgot to remove the Christmas thing from there. This is not a bad game by any means, but I think like it tries to be this really epic thing, like psychological horror experience, super amazing. And sadly, when you try to do something that it's really, really good, you usually fall short. I can see the idea and I like the concept, so maybe with a little bit more work, this can be like something that like it's really, really enjoyable, because again, it's not boring, it's not annoying, but like for my liking, it's a little bit too edgy. Again, maybe if I was like 12 years old, I will find this game incredibly epic, and I will show this game to all my friends because it kind of tickles that part of the brain, right? Like when you're young and it's like, oh my god, I've been taking this psychological test, and I went this entity living in the game and stuff like that. I'm sure young people, like really young kids, really gonna dig this game. I think it's really good, but sadly, I'm not young, not even close to being young, and it didn't tickle that part of my brain. But it doesn't mean the game is doing something wrong. It means it's maybe not the game for me, right? So I can make that, I can understand that difference, and I'm not gonna judge the game based on my preferences, right? I don't like this game, it sucks. No. I don't like this game, but I can recognize it has some good things, it has some bad things. I think maybe a system that how about like some kind of scale, and depending on your answers, it shifts this to like, oh, you're being bad, you're being good, so you know more or less where you're going into this. Because like, if you answer all good, there's 10 endings, and I have no idea how to get them because the game doesn't really have a flow, right? It's just answering a bunch of questions, and you get something at the end, right? You can decide to take or not to take the picture test, or you can decide to take it, and you have to take the other questions forcefully, because I'm guessing those questions are the ones that decide your ending. But there's no telling how to get each ending, because those are not specific questions, right? They just tell you how you feel, and then you answer from a little bit, a lot more, even more, right? It's not a way to quantify how to get an ending. Maybe from the perspective of someone programming this, yes. I mean, you can program a bunch of variables and stuff like that, right? But from the perspective of a player playing this, there's no way to know how you're gonna get, right? And I understand this confusion that I don't know who I am, I don't know where I am, because you are in your mind and stuff like that. Yeah, that's good. But you need to ground the player in the universe, right? Because this feels like a really empty room, not in a good way, right? It doesn't feel like, oh, this is empty, but it's full of questions. It feels empty, and there's this doctor, but you need to like set up the what I'm trying to say. I don't want to be too roundabout about it. What I'm trying to say, it's just you need to make a better world building for this, to let me immerse into this. And once the player is into the game, like completely absorbed by the game, you can start with the questions, which need to be more specific questions that lets you know, like, oh, I'm going to the bad ending, I'm going to the good ending, I'm going to the medium ending. There's 10 endings, and I have honestly no idea how to get like some of them, because I just have no idea, right? And that's never good. But on the things I did like, again, the music, really good choice of soundtrack. I would say that's the best thing about the game, the soundtrack. I also like how the game looks. It has this really like edited picture feeling, you know, which makes everything feels like this place. It's obviously not real, right? And it nails the visual style. I like that. And the doctor character, it's good, but it needs to be better established. And it would be better if we could see him, right? Because if you cannot see who's talking to you, I know it might be part of this, oh, it's not real, so you can see him, but like when you can see who's talking to you and you see how he reacts to your answers, I think that makes it much better. And that's a point you can abuse in visual novels, because you have visual elements. So yeah, I think this game just needs more work on it, but it's a solid base, it's a solid concept, and I like that. And if you guys would like to try the game, the link will be down in the description with all the games I played so far. Please give it a try. I'm sure you're gonna get like a different ending, because there's a bunch of them, and that's good. And thank you, developer, for making the game. And I will see you guys in the next indie game stream, or whatever I decide to do with this channel in this Christmas season. I'll see you later.